Happy beeps here, buddy. Come on.
So good to have you back.
BB-8, punch it! Woo-hoo! That's got a kick! I won't let them win!
Physically, I never really had to push myself that hard. And stamina-wise, you're like, oh my God. It's like a psychological thing of knowing that you can do it more and more and more.
Daisy is training for a moment where she is on the islands and she has a moment to herself and she's practicing with the staff. And then she realizes, well, am I wasting my time practicing with the staff? I have Luke Skywalker's lightsaber in my satchel.
Set.
It's just working out the moves for that.
Action.
I was planning to teach her the whole routine in 3 days, but she surprisingly learned everything in an hour and a half. She's a very quick learner.
This is the hardest physical thing I've done yet. The suit can be very restrictive just to move in, just to walk in. You do the move and you think, gosh, is it lunchtime yet?
Finn and Phasma end up face to face, which results in a major fight. One thing I do want to do is do the whole fight by myself. It was a really good scene to shoot, very tiring though.
What was cool was learning different types of fighting. It was intense and fun, but really hard.
Training yesterday was great, and then today we started and I was just like, ugh. I was watching Adam and he gives it so full out every single time. And it was kind of like, oh my God, I can do that, I can do that.
It's just rigorous in a great way. And these stunt guys are very disciplined, so you can't half-ass it.
The stunt team are absolutely amazing. They're like my boys and girls.
Hey everybody, happy Star Wars month. There's so much stuff that we have to get through, so I cut this down just a little bit because there's more behind the scenes with the director Rian Johnson talking about some of the new characters like Rose Tico or Benicio del Toro's DJ character on Canto Bight. But there's a couple key scenes that they're rehearsing here with their lightsaber battles, and I know a lot of people are wondering what types of techniques that they're going to develop for the film. Because up to this point where Luke Skywalker's like, the Jedi Order needs to end, there were some classic styles that you would train in with a lightsaber. So you would say certain people were using Form 4 or Form 1 or Form 2 or something like that. But I think part of the idea from this behind the scenes that you get is that she's training with that staff. Like maybe Luke Skywalker's like slowly ramping her up or doesn't want anything to do with it. And then she sees the lightsaber sitting in the backpack and is just like, screw this. I'm going to use Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. But because she's never actually trained with a real lightsaber before, she's just hacking away at the air. But if you are finding me for the first time, like I said, this is going to be the month of Star Wars. There's going to be so much different stuff going on, even beyond The Last Jedi. So be sure to subscribe to get everything. And I will be doing IMAX ticket giveaways in the videos. I usually name new winners at the end of these. But at the beginning of that footage, you actually see some new X-Wing shots with Poe Dameron and BB-8. It looks like they're attacking the base that Finn is going to be fighting on, because there are a couple big First Order locations that we know about. So there's one, the Supremacy, which is Snoke's ship. That's where you see a lot of those Rey scenes where it looks like she's being tested by Snoke. Then there's a lot of separate scenes with Finn on his mission to infiltrate the First Order as he interacts with Phasma and all these other places here. But it's a little hard to tell just from these interior shots whether they're also on the Supremacy separate from what Rey is doing. Because it does sound like they come back together on Crate, which is probably from the later battles in the film. So like all this Salt Planet stuff that you see, like when the First Order troopers are walking into this area here, when you see the Falcon flying through all these tunnels, These big space battles here, that all looks like it's happening towards the end of the film once the characters have come back together, because you do see Rey get a couple costume changes, like she has the early outfits that she's wearing here when she's still on Octo 2, but then later, when you see her on the Supremacy inside Snoke's throne room, she's wearing her gray Jedi robes. So you can chart the timeline of the movie just a little bit based on the costume changes people get, because she's in those gray Jedi robes when she's on Crate standing next to Finn. These fights that she's training for when she's fighting multiple people at the same time look like they might be happening on the Supremacy, because this person here actually either looks like he's wielding a baton or another lightsaber, like this is her training to fight Kylo Ren inside this throne room here. Like it might be a twist on the Vader fight at the end of Empire and Return of the Jedi, but it does look like one of these people that she's fighting is one of the Praetorian Guards. But the other cool thing about this is obviously all of the Kylo Ren fights. I mean, it's cool to see Phasma training. She's just a total badass. Like Brienne of Tarth in space is going to kick a lot of butt before Finn maybe narrowly escapes. I don't think there's any way that Finn can beat her in one-on-one combat. So speaking of which, Kylo Ren's lightsaber style. I love the way that he wields such a long blade. Like you see him just spinning around, like there's so much force behind his strikes. And it's almost like he's fighting with a giant two-handed broadsword, but he's trying to wield it at times with one hand, so he just has to hold it while he's throwing other people using the Force. The interesting thing about this, though, is that it doesn't tell us whether or not Kylo Ren is just in a training session with the Praetorian Guards or with the Knights of Ren, or if he's gone rogue and he's legit fighting them. There's this real push-pull thing going on with Kylo Ren and Snoke's narrative, where Snoke is really upset and dissatisfied with him, and it sounds like Kylo Ren is also growing dissatisfied too, so he might wind up going rogue at some point during the trilogy. But let me know in the comments, what do you think is actually happening in these lightsaber fights that the actors are training for? And what'll happen is there is some more behind the scenes with the director talking about the other characters that I might post later, but I'm expecting some more footage to be dropping really soon, so there'll be all kinds of Star Wars stuff happening in the next week. But leave all your requests for bonus videos in the comments below. There'll be some more Marvel and DC stuff posting really soon. There's a new round of that IMAX ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment about Star Wars stuff on this video. Congratulations to the winner from last week, Mysterio Gamer. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. You can click here for more new Star Wars The Last Jedi, and you can click here to rewatch that Infinity War trailer a billion more times. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.